very quickly snowballed to the point that I was vastly outproducing my. Like I had so much research I couldn't use it all. Like it exceeded my maximum amount of usable research. Yeah, maintenance and construction costs are the main drawbacks. Yeah. I could just give it an extra cargo bay. I thought you could choose another design in Distant Worlds 1, but you had, like, order the construction of a specific station. It was a lot harder to do. Maybe that was true of Distant Worlds 1 as well, then, yeah. I don't recall precisely, I'm afraid. I could just pop in a remote fuel transfer just so that if someone was over here, could grab a little bit more, or I could put in a small miner. How will this affect the maintenance? By 1 credit. I think that's... Oh, sorry, that's an energy collector. That's probably why it didn't affect it very much. Still only 1 credit, though. On the off chance that this thing can mine additional stuff, I may as well pop it in there. Though if I do that... Ah, wait. If I do that, I'd want a commercial system over here. So maybe not then, in that case. I'll just stick an extra cargo bay so it can be used as... it can have more fueling cargo if it needed it. It does have a docking bay, yep. Down there. Because right now, this has got everything it wants. Actually, I will switch this out for ion field projectors, though. I think that is pretty much perfect. And in terms of its research rate, 24 is still the same. Okay, saving that up. Tonk. The small spaceport, let's upgrade you. My lord, I've actually filled this out. Oh yeah, construction yards and docking bays, of course, yeah. We've got no deflectors on it, though. That's kind of scary. Lots of basic crew systems. Can I get away with that down? No, I cannot. Okay, fair enough. Commerce, basic cargo bay, energy collectors. Let's sort this place out a little bit, though. I've got a basic research lab on the station. I could get rid of that in favor of building an actual research lab at any location around these places and just drop the basic research lab and actually build a research station, rather. Might not be a bad idea, because then I'll be able to get a bit more... because this does use quite a lot of energy. And that is worrisome. Let's get reactors down here. Along with the fuel. Just tidying up the design right now. Now, these are generally going to be built around planets, which are going to have enormous cargo bays, so I don't really need a lot of cargo on the station itself, I would say. But we do want a little bit, just in case. We want energy collectors that can match the static energy requirement. Consider adding research labs. Consider adding recreation and medical. I would rather add weapons and defense, honestly. In my opinion, that seems to be the better choice. I could have laser cannons. We've got plasma torpedoes. We've got tractor beams, which I wouldn't be able to fit here. Could have one plasma or laser or an extra deflector, and I think an extra deflector is the better choice. Sadly, I can't afford two. I'm one over. To build the perfect research station, a treatise by Aavak. Research stations can only be built where there are research bonuses. Basically, it needs a special deposit, and the research ones are rare. Oh, right. So what you're saying is that it's better to have... because this is a small space station, it can be built anywhere. That makes a lot of sense. And because my mining stations don't have slots that go big enough... And again, this is almost certainly why the slot system was brought in. Because, yeah, like I said, I had every one of my mining stations was a research lab as well. Basically, my empires in Distant World 1 were full of geologists. I imagine mining stations will never have a 60 slot. Or maybe they do, you know, because they have that 100 slot for the mining system. Maybe if you really wanted to game the system, you could just put a research lab there and then tiny, you know, like, or multiple smaller, much less efficient mining modules to get approximately the same amount of mining in them, because the small mining engine gives you 10, whereas the large mining engine gives you something like 30. And so you'd need, and that one costs 100, whereas you'd need 3 of these to get the same thing, but you'd be using up 120. The gears are turning. But I do see the benefit then to having a research station on board. So we'll pop that in and we'll dial back on other things. For example, the plasma torpedoes can both go, and we'll damn it. Well, we'll pull back on some of the defenses there. I guess actually I can pop in a lance cannon if I really want to, and sure, I suppose pop one there. There we go. Brings us up mostly. So, what are we gonna name this? I mean, cargo capacity on this thing is stupendously huge. Just because it's a station, so it has a massive bonus to it. In Aavak's empire, Splattercat is the patron saint of researchers. Oh man, I've now got this idea of... Okay, since we were talking about old films the last time we were playing this, and I brought up Buckaroo Banzai, I think it has to now be canon that in my empire that is Splattercat. And rock and roll superstar scientist. That is going to be it. That is Splattercat in my empires. It has to be. Splat is Buckaroo, yes. Oh, only research stations or spaceports can have research labs when you try to program a mining station. Ah, rip. That's such a shame. Oh well. That is such a shame. Okay, well this is good enough. We've got a little research station on it. We've generally tightened the system a bit. I don't think there were any other places that I could squeeze in a research station. There are not. Alright, so let's get this renamed. I am going to name it for the... it's a small space station, but I will have C for Commerce Center. Eventually we'll have R for Resort and M for Medical. So that this is SSP C2. Actually, we can have TAC C2. Or I can have TAC C TAC 2. I think that might be better. Save. And the last one, our fuel tanker. So recently made. Let's get you updated. Thing is, as soon as we get the new warp drives, at least some of them are going to be getting an upgrade. Right. There's not really anything else we want to change on this. It's just that we've got a better engine now so it can go a little bit further. That's literally the only thing that we're putting on this because nothing else needs to be changed. I feel. So, yep. Save and exit. Boom. There we are. Right. It's time to let everyone come back and look at the spaceports. It's like, oh my god, the queues! The queues! No! The Aavak spaceports like, no! Why? I'm gonna... Head engineer's like, I am going to have an aneurysm. I'm scheduling it in for 5 years' time because I'm too busy to have an aneurysm until then. My young space rat youngling won't even know my name. I will miss finding them walking for the first time, refusing to bath for the first time. All of the important occasions I will miss because I am stuck up here on a Aavak spaceport fixing ships. I'll go home. My family won't even recognize me anymore. Remove the letter Q from the alphabet. Oh my god, look at it. So bad. Everything's like, yo. So I heard there was a new design. I would kind of like one, please and thank you. We do want some fuel tankers though. So can I? Oh, can I not? Why can they not? It might simply be that there's just too many. They're all like, yeah, I'm busy for the next bajillion years. What do you expect from me, man? Magic? Oh, I am broke. Yes. Oh, I'm probably... Yeah, that's probably because I'm paying for the state ships to be retrofit. Oops. Going home? Pfft. You should know that the spaceport is your home now, and your tools are your new family. Yeah, that's true, actually, yeah. Okay. Wow, 63? What? What is that? Why does that number keep changing? That I don't understand. Like, this exploration level is now 83, completely explored. Why is this only 15? I don't understand the way that those numbers change. Like, I get that my current exploration system, survey maximum level is 15. Survey amount is 10. Survey time. But, oh, planetary exploration. Survey maximum is 25. Basic colonization. Exploration scanners. Exploration range is 50. Exploration power is 5. It's a resource scanner. So all I would need is this planetary exploration. It's an advanced survey module. Right. Oh, what? Why? Why are all of my ships going up here all of a sudden? Okay, how strong is my military? My military is really not that strong. Why are they doing this? Why are you throwing your lives away? This is a significantly more powerful enemy than you are. So much more powerful. They saw the queue and thought, nah, sod it. I worry. I'm not gonna lie, I do worry. I mean, you've got a decent amount of shielding, sure, but this thing can punch a lot harder than you can handle. All of my ships are going there right now. All of them, every single one. Alright, I guess. I'm not gonna stop them from doing it. But we are gonna watch it from the bridge! Whomp! Slow down time. Go. Ah, bridge cam! Okay, that's maybe a little bit too slow. Full speed. Incoming fire! Okay, it's not going to us, it's fine. It's Bob over there. Can't see Bob, but I'm sure Bob is okay. Or maybe not. Bob is not okay. Bob! Get out of here, Bob! Now the thing is, as long as you've got enough ships and they are able to jump out, they can just, as long as you've got enough of them, they'll just keep cycling and it'll be a war of attrition you will eventually win. Oh no, we're taking direct fire. That's not great. On our attack approach. Okay, we're being directly attacked now. We're bailing. Too hot for us. Uh-oh. 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 Take me back to default view. My brain. It hurts. What on earth? Oh. Interceptors. That's bad news, Bears. Tonk. You got out. Well done. You did not. Sad times. But we do have quite a lot of ships here now. We've done nothing to it, though. Pop. Rip you. A supercapacitor. I mean, okay. Oh, wow. That was quite nice to watch. But I need the other ships in here soon to be able to help. Yeah, your reactor is offline. You are about to pop. It's a rather expensive ship just gone like that. Tunk, tunk. Alright, not terrible. But you do need to be a lot more active in this fight. I'm going to be honest. Honestly, we're just watching our ships die. I'm not sure why they all decided to get in here and fight. That's the crazy thing. Have a look at this. Like, you've barely done any damage to it. Its shield is recharging so much faster than you're able to deal with. And after that, you've got to get through the armor. What I don't understand is why all of a sudden they decided to go for the attack. They had been quite sensibly avoiding this place for so long. Check this stance. Okay. Engagement range, do not engage. Attack stance against weaker targets, evade. Wait, this must be the wrong thing. Oh, this is the exploration ship, my bad. Here we are. Engagement range, same system. Attack stance against weaker targets, aggressive. Attack stance against stronger targets, in neutral. Retreat when 20% of non-defense components are damaged. Invade colonies immediately. Roll in fleet as attack. I don't have a fleet. They are not part of a fleet. That's the thing. Is they're meant to be using just their regular escort AI. Just helping out civilians. Bad news bears. Oh no, what we got? Got a construction ship coming in here now. All right, that's awful. Oh, this was set to not Q attack against the foreign layer. No. See, I've got no attack fleet. I've got nothing that is due to come out here and deal with it. I mean, up to now, they have sensibly ignored this location. What I'm trying to understand is why that changed. Very sensibly, they have been ignoring it. Hope now is that at least the ships can get out of here. I don't know if they will, though. They will probably pop each ship one after the other, and then my construction ship won't have any reason to be here. But that was a painful loss. We just basically lost our fleet for no particular reason for it to happen either. Escape. Escape. Why did you arrive here? Escape and escape. Let's get everything out of here and just leave this place to its own devices. Unfortunately. Let's not throw good money after bad. I do not have AI fleet response set on. I don't have a fleet. It's possibly the civilians decided to go out that way. And because one escort went there, the rest of them did as well. No, I haven't had any pop-ups for mining stations. And AI doesn't make its own fleet automatically unless you've set that up, Bloodlands. I have not. I'll quickly show you. Try not to present information you don't know for certain with such great confidence, because this is still a new game and there are lots of people who will just take that kind of confidence as gospel. No fleets are made automatically. No ships are made automatically. I have everything set up to suggest, with the exception of colony stock levels, because that's a level of micromanagement even I'm not interested in. But everything is set to manual or to suggest. That way I will learn better, because the AI will tell me what it would do in this situation and I can agree or disagree. But yeah, some people weigh in. It's like, no, this is how it works. And it's like, no, it's not. We've literally just watched it work a different way. I don't know why. What? I realize, though, it's easy to feel quite confident about such things, especially if they happen that way in your game. But we drill down into the settings fairly deep. Some things just happen as a bit of a bug. Now, that I'm not willing to sign off on and say, yeah, that was definitely a bug. But it was a change in behavior, a fairly big one. I just got here. What's with the crazy lens flare? Did J.J. Abrams make this game? Yikes. The ships are automated, yeah. For Tina Decay, the escort AI, if these were frigates, then they would straight up have just gone there. The different ship class will have a different type of AI base that if they're fully automated, that they will pursue if they're not part of a fleet. So escort, as the name implies, largely act as an escort ship. So if they've got no job to do and they're not part of a fleet, they'll try and escort civilian ships around. We may see that happen again in a moment. I suggest click the fleet tab. Sure. I was on it before when you were talking about fleets. Do you have them on manual? Not that one. Which fleet tab are you talking about then? The one under your faction. Oh, I already said I've got everything on manual or suggest, with the exception of colony restock levels, because again, that's a level of micromanagement I'm not looking for right now. Hence my confusion. You would have been quite right. If I had it on automatic, it would have happily made a fleet. I think it means the ships, not the fleet tab. No, he literally asked for the fleet tab. When the ships are made, they are on automatic. But again, let me just reiterate. If it is a frigate or larger, they will have more of an aggressive stance on enemies in the system. But an escort ship's basic AI, if they're not a part of a fleet, they don't look for trouble. They will escort civilian ships around. That's, you know, and the key is in their name. They're escort ships. They're not really out there trying to pick fights with pirates unless the pirates pick fights with them or with the civilians that they're escorting. They will generally just follow the trade lanes, moving along with freighters or mining ships where they go. If you've got frigates, though, they're just straight up military. So they're out patrolling, looking for something to fight with. But the frigates aren't out there looking for trouble. They'll respond if trouble comes knocking, but generally speaking, they're just happy just to follow ships around. But I strongly suspect that a civilian ship went out here for some reason, because this should be set, and was, for a time, set to be ignored. I think there was a setting in here. Because I noticed it earlier. But my best guess is a civilian ship went out there for some reason, got nearby, maybe even one of the exploration ships did it actually, and this base then attacked them, and the result of that was all of the escort ships, you know, again, trouble had now come knocking to us, so every escort ship in my empire went over there to try and fight it. Those greedy civvies. Yeah, I know, right? That's my best guess. It could have just been a brain fart in the AI, because there have been lots of instances of bugs happening. But that I've seen other content creators mention that I've not encountered yet. But there are definitely some bugs just sitting around. And that's probably going to be the case for the next little while, honestly, whilst they get a load of player data from people actually engaging and enjoying the game for a while. Let's keep them relatively happy there, shall we? And let's pump this up. Development is now at a really nice level. So let's get our tax up to 10. Aavak, are your civilian fleet upgrading? I'm having an issue in my game where I've designed civilian freighters with skip drives, but the AI is not updating them. That's very odd, because yeah, the moment I build, I change the design at all, my civilian ships will go out there and immediately retrofit, which causes kind of like a massive slowdown in my empire, because all of my dry docks are full. Literally like moths to a flame on my game at the moment, Fistful of Beer. But yeah, if anyone does check out a clip, that would be fantastic. If you can see if there was any like civilian in that vicinity, that would be absolutely wonderful for me, because then I will straight up know, yeah, okay, someone went out there, and they got smacked by the spaceport, and all of my frigates, so all my escorts decided to go and deal with it. I wonder if I have a setting in the policies set wrong. It is your... Okay, my guess on this, and this is just a guess, but do check it. I've not seen a case where the private economy has been so weak that it was unable to upgrade. But they do have to have money to be able to upgrade. That's the other thing I was thinking, Pax Ratlin. I was idly thinking that, is it possible that by giving my escorts a bump in their weaponry, and specifically their shields as well, they now felt that they could go toe-to-toe with the station? It's quite possible that they might have done that. I think that there is definitely an outside possibility that was the case. That suddenly they felt that they had a fighting chance, and decided to fight for the chance. It didn't go well, but still, the AI usually isn't that aggressive with escorts. This project provides the following advances: warp bubble generator. There we go. Let's go ahead and have a look at our research projects. What do we got next? We've got the hyperdrive technology. Okay, so now we've got this. There's going to be a bunch of stuff that I need to do. I'm going to need to rejig all my systems once again. And nevertheless, basic countermeasures might not be a bad thing to have. However, okay, so I could upgrade to a proper research lab. That would take me 2.15 years. Or I could get basic transport systems, which would allow me to have colony ships and passenger ships. Then following that, I could go for the recreation systems. Alternatively, I could get the basic medical system. I could get improved escorts, or I could go for actual system patrol ships. It would take me 2.35 years. Get some armor plating on my ships. Yeah, we'd still need the colony module for the colony ships, though, yeah. The tyranny of choice, yeah, I know, right? The other thing I could do is I could go for the whomping great, gonna ruin your day heavy ion weapon. No, ultimately, I think before we tackle that system, I would want to get some frigates. Frigates would have a hangar. Wow, really? I'd have nothing to put in there, but we would have a hangar. I could maybe even get... I wonder where you'd get boarding. Ship boarding. Lots of options there. Penetrating scanners, don't need those. Well, we've got a couple of things that we kind of would benefit from. The first thing I'm going to go for is basic transport system. Let's go ahead and grab that, and then I'm going to grab basic recreation system. That's 2.86, that's 2.67. They will be finished in roughly the right order for me. Let's go. Now, I'm going to have to rejig my military now, sadly. But as you can see, they're out and about guarding. And I could make a fleet and fill it with escort ships. specifically for the job of dealing with any particularly large-scale problems that we have. But right now, if we came up against any problems, I would probably just capitulate. If it was like pirates and they demanded tribute, I'd just pay it. Aavak, so I have 5 specific questions for you and or chat. Care to answer? It depends on what the questions are, but by all means, ask away. Upgrading the crew modules gives you plus 70 crew, which usually means dropping 1 or 2. Yeah, I am tempted for it, Jote. Union ID. Yes, yes, yes. No, maybe. It depends. Oh, wonderful. Maybe I will create... we lost a lot of ships. So the fact that I've still got 227 here tells me that we probably had enough power to take this on if everyone showed up at one time. So, did you or anyone figure out why a fleet does a specific behavior even when you tell it not to? I have not figured that out. I've not really been looking into it, though, I will confess. It's not something I've encountered. Oh, 100% development. Nice. How many people are here? We need so many more. I'm kind of hopeful that a passenger transport will just move them between the colonies as well. You basically have to tell fleets to jump in next to your target, or it gets them killed in detail. Yeah, that must be annoying. Second question. Best advice for game start, what to research first, second, etc. Okay. First and foremost, in regards to fleets, I do seem to recall that I can't recall in enough detail because it wasn't something I was looking into at the time, but I believe there are cases where the behavior of fleets will revert to the behavior of the ships, or vice versa, in certain situations. I just don't remember what it was, but maybe saying that it'll give you somewhere to start your search in the Galactopedia or something. Best research, I would say probably... well, depending on where you start. Like if you've started pre-warp, like I have, best research, almost certainly going to be crash researching early warp field experiments. There will be some places where you wouldn't do that. Like if your main planet is so close to a bunch of stuff that you don't really need to worry too much about having initial warp drives, okay, you can look at some other things, but probably getting this first layer of the tech just so that you can move around within your system comfortably. The next layer I went for, I believe, was better spaceports, but it will depend a little bit on your race because you'll have potentially bunches of different different items. I probably wouldn't have gone for commerce had I realized that it seems that this is largely dependent on other races being, talking with you. It's the trade from other races, not necessarily within your own system. That being said, getting basic recreation systems up and running and basic transport systems is probably a big one. But to really make use of that, you'll need expanded civilian ships. But that's going to be an extra way for you to make money. Getting the ability to refuel your ships out and about is probably a pretty solid one as well, I'm going to be honest. Early defensive tech, depending on the situation you're in, probably a big one. But for me, I would say focus on your economy at the very, very start. Unless you're in a situation where that is perhaps... where it's you're in a little bit more of a immediately hostile environment. I would say probably focus on your economy. So get to the point where you've got, passengers moving around and paying you fees to visit your resorts. Get medical systems up so you can put the taxes up on your planet a little bit more. Double down on make your ships more efficient. Like get larger ships or get better systems like better reactors so you get the same or more bang for the same buck sort of thing. That's what I would say in terms of research. Don't be afraid to crash research things either. It is very expensive, absolutely. But it is very, very useful too. So, if only because it prevents it from having a problem where they get set back. So what is the best and or better way to get an early economy stable and give you lots of money? I would say, like, to get an early economy, it's literally just... Don't underestimate the amount that your private sector can inject into your bank balance as they're retrofitting and building new ships. So give them stuff to do, to need to do that. Getting tourism up and running is probably going to give you a stable but small trickle of income. And yeah, like, increase the quality of your planets. For example, with medical facilities, because that will make them happier, and if they're happier, you can tax them harder, which will get you more money. What's the best way to defend a base, mining station, etc.? That is entirely dependent on the tech that you got, I would say. Entirely dependent. I would say that, that comes down so heavily to what weapon systems you have. Like, what I would say is probably the case. I can't say this for certain, because again, I'm learning the game as I go as well. You are not going to stop a committed and driven opponent from destroying a mining facility. If it's just like a remote mining facility, you're not going to... If they bring an actual war fleet to it, they're going to crush it. It's not going to be able to kill them before they kill it. Because just generally speaking, you're not going to have enough weapons on a mining station or a research station to put down a fleet, a committed fleet. What you can do with it, though, is delay its destruction. So I would put more focus on making it hard to kill rather than making it be able to kill the opponents, with the view that the longer it can hold out, the more time your combat fleet has to get over there and actually drive off the enemy. What's the best resource to not only covet but jealously guard? I have no idea. But that's actually a good question. Let's have a look. Of the resources that I've got, all resources, let's see. I mean, in terms of construction resources, it's going to sound stupid, but like Caslon, if you don't have fuel, well, good luck. It doesn't matter how great your space fleets are if they're all like limping along in space. With a question like that, though, I would say it probably comes down to the luxury resources, and I hate to skip out on a question like this, but I am not knowledgeable enough about the game yet to be able to give you a solid answer on that one. They each have such varied qualities. But you know what? Just based on names alone, let me go and find you. Where are you? Where are you? I saw you briefly. Gosh darn it, now I can't see you. No, it's not Vuvlascent. I saw you, where are you? I will find it in a second. Based on name alone, covet and guard Vodkal. There you go. That is my terrible answer to your question. Silicon 2 ran into that issue. I mean, honestly, you could just be incredibly unlucky and not have steel. Imagine not having steel. That would ruin your day. Pretty egregiously. Now, I'm hopeful that we're going to get a nice big wallop of cash once I can afford to build a resort station, or rather retrofit one of my stations. And then the private sector suddenly is like really ultra busy building passenger ships. Hey, thanks for answering my questions. I have some bits for those nice bits of information. Oh, thank you. That's very kind of you. Anything that I wasn't able to help with, though, hopefully chat will be able to fill you in. There are some people who are much more familiar with the original game, and I imagine a lot of that knowledge is very transferable to the second. But I hope that helps a bit.